Um, well, I'm Jim. I'm from St Mary's in Wootton. It was a little village to the west of Bedford. I suppose there's about 100 or so on Sunday, 120 if you count all the services together. I've been going there for about 20 years, more than 20 years now. A family, I have 3 grown-up children, 30, 27 and 24.
Okay.
I've been married for 30-something years. What I do for a living is I work for a large drug company, selling drugs.
You're in Hertfordshire, you're in farmerland, that's absolutely fine.
Yes, I work for Bayer, which is a German company, but they're
Yes.
based out of Newbury. So my day job is going around hospitals, seeing consultants and nurses and things like that.
Okay.
So can you remember what the next part of the question, or should I carry on?
No, that's absolutely fine. So my first question really is about, do you remember when you first met a lay reader and what you thought of them?
The first lay reader I met, yes, I can remember, probably about 20 years ago. A chap called Ivor Richmond, he's dead now. He'd been a lay reader for quite a while then. I used to love him because he was such a nice chap, very warm, welcoming, very encouraging. And we had quite a bit in common. He was a scientist, I'm a scientist, and we had lots to talk about.
Sure.
And he was always there when needed. He was very good at comfort and also answering difficult questions, or at least posing questions that I could think about myself, which may help me to answer my own questions, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I've known Ivor for 20 years. He sadly passed away a few years ago, and there were 2 actually at my church. One is still with us, but she's emeritus now, Norma, and we still work together on home groups and things like that, but she's retired.
Okay, so what made you want to become a reader?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure I did.
I'll ask you that question.
That's a good question. I'm not sure I did. It's been a long nagging thing for years and years, and it's not that I want to be a reader. I remember a long time ago somebody said, well, why don't you become a vicar, Jim? Why don't you be a vicar? I said, no, I can't be a vicar. Well, why would I want to be a vicar? So I suppose that was 30 odd years ago, and let me think, probably about 8 years ago, or thereabouts. I'd been studying on the more theological course. It's a distance learning thing where you get a certificate in Christian education. I've been doing that for quite a while. You have exams at the end of each term, etc. And Peter, the vicar, said, "Well, why don't you give a talk? Do you want to see what you like? Give it a talk." Really good. I thought, too scary. But eventually, it coaxed me into doing preaching at an evening service with a few people in it. I found it very challenging, but mentally stimulating at the same time. And I did feel that as I was preparing, I wasn't the only one preparing, as it were. I think the material I produced was better than I could produce myself. So I'm pretty sure the Holy Spirit was helping. So
Yes.
sort of gradually over time, the feeling grew that maybe this is something I should do more of. But being full-time employment and being of a certain age, because I'm 50-something now, the avenue that seemed most logical was to do reader training. So Peter says, well, maybe we should put you forward and see what happens. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I did put myself forward for a selection and was selected and came through. And this is where I am now.
What I'm going to do is take a couple of photos of you while we're talking, because I'm not sure how much of this we can use. There's someone in the background singing and thinking, it's funny, there's chanting when Jim starts to speak. It's obviously, there's a whole aura around it.
But the very walls start to speak.
Exactly. So I'm just going to, make most use of that, if we can use it. I was listening to the song and thinking, that's quite a short one, it's not one of the ones with 7 verses, so I can remember that.
So probably they won't be long now, I think maybe they'll...
We'll see if they go around the second time.
Go around again, I don't
I've been a music leader, so I know this song quite well.
This just went slightly off there.
You a musician as well?
No, not the musician, the singers. One of that. There was some funny.
Okay.
Interesting harmony.
So we will press on just to ask this question about what you've gained from doing the 3 years of training? You're which year are you in?
3.
Year 3. So you're going to be licensed this year.
Yes.
Fantastic. So what would you say you've gained from doing the 3 years training?
Oh, that's a good.
I'm asking all the tough questions tonight then.
Oh, well, I suppose what have I gained? I've got a broader understanding of the church I'm a part of.
Yeah.
St Mary's, we're a conservative evangelical parish.
Mm-hmm.
Although I come from a Roman Catholic background, going back far enough. So it's broadened my appreciation of the Church of England, which is a very broad church.
Yeah.
I think it's given me more of an understanding for people from different traditions, shall we say.
Yes.
And it's caused me to reflect more on what I'm trying to do, or what the Spirit, I hope that God is trying to do through me. And I think it's given me a more reflective approach to the work. I think I'm more or less likely to say something now than I was. Hopefully I'm more of a listener than I was.
You think it's made you
Listen
talk
more.
less and listen more?
I think so.
What an interesting learning. Fantastic. Very good. You've learned more than I have in all the time. And in what ways is your training making a difference to your understanding of the church and your ministry now? That's a really mean question.
Good question. I mean, at the moment, I suppose, as I say, I am more reflective than I was. So the conversation between the Bible, what I preach, and the world around is more thorough, I think. There's more hermeneutics going on. And it gives me I think it's given me the ability to discern better before I commit to a certain action or whatever. It's given me confidence in my own ability to work out response to Scripture in the real world. I think it's made me. It really just makes you think. I mean, I always thought it was a massive responsibility preaching anyway, but I think it's just increased that really to make me more humble when I go up the steps or when I speak to somebody. It's not the same as before. It was just Jim's opinion before and it didn't really matter so much. But now I have to be very cautious and represent more the Church of England as a public minister.
Sure, I hear that. So we're only a couple of months away from you being licensed. What are you looking forward to doing when you are
I'm
licensed?
having an arrest.
Having an arrest? Sorry, having an arrest or having a rest?
Not an arrest. No. My drugs aren't for that. I'm going to have one of those. No, I mean, I am looking forward to a little gap after.
Yeah.
So we've got a holiday booked.
Just to relax. Okay.
Just to have some relaxation, because there's quite a lot of reading, writing, and sending in of stuff.
Sure. So you're right in the middle of it right now.
I'm right in the middle of it now,
Yeah.
and I'll be pleased to be shut of it. You can't use any of this from.
No, clearly not.
I'll be pleased that's gone. But I'm really looking forward to starting again. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm pretty good at preaching, and I'm pretty good at praying, and I'm pretty good at this, that, and the other. But I've been rushing through this at such a pace with all this stuff going on, and you take cherry pick here, this, that, and the other. I'll have time to be more thorough in particular areas one at a time. I'm under my own.
You're not the first. It's almost
Yeah.
saying, are you rushing through so fast? You almost want to
exactly.
catch up with
So
yourself.
I mean, it's partly down to my personality. I am quite a reflective person anyway, and I don't like doing anything half baked. So I think it'll give me. I'll have more control. I mean, Peter, it will be an agreement how often I preach, and being full-time work, I won't be able to do more than one a month.
No.
And that will give me at least 4 weeks to prepare.
Which is a luxury.
Which is a luxury, but I think the congregation appreciate it because they do look forward to when I speak, and it's not. I don't think because I'm brilliant, but it's a different voice.
Yes.
And I do think things slightly differently because I'm not a full-time minister. I do go out in the real world, have to earn a living, etc. Not that because they do have to earn a living.
Sure.
But
you
know
feel you bring something back different because of the work you're doing in hospitals.
Yeah, I think wherever I'm out in the real world, not that vicars aren't out in the real world, but I'm out in the real world with all the pressures of the day job and the world around you, and I haven't as much time as somebody who's a full-time minister, as it were.
Sure.
I just have to bridge the gap somehow.
Thank you so much.